I'll tell you who should close it out maybe speaking in general right now. It's not been great for Jerry Jones. But Jerry Jones does speak every week, and we got to hear him talk about the trade deadline for his beloved Dallas Cowboys.
We made the decision of how we're going forward when I extended Dak and when I signed CD. And so that should have and does put you in a direction that you're going. So that if you see us moving in any way by chance during this trade deadline, trading somebody, that would be because that we are going in a different direction.
That is Jerry Jones on 105.3, The Fan, doing his weekly appearance. And we do start with Dak Prescott, who...
I think it's 103.5. You said 105.3. I don't think right? Isn't it 103.5? Am I? No?
It's 105.3.
Is it? All right.
That's what it said in the top left.
Okay, fair enough. Understood. Yeah. All I know is whatever station it is, it's freaking amazing that Jerry Jones keeps going on 105.3. 105.3. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, once in a while I get
Wait,
one right.
105.3, so who was right?
Me.
Jay Connor was right.
Yes.
Connor was right.
The host of the show is driving the show once in a while. It's all right.
Every once in a while.
You're just keeping me on my toes, and you know what? I appreciate that, especially with Jay out, Lawrence in. Lawrence trusts me a little bit more. So we start with Dak Prescott, who, I mean, this week, Matthew, he barely sneaks into your top 20 quarterbacks.
So he's on the road this week, obviously. It's at San Francisco. It's the Sunday night game on NBC and Peacock. I'm a company man. And on the road this year, he's played 3 games. He's been under 17 points in all 3. He's averaging under 15 fantasy points on the road overall. He plays the Niners. And 5 of the 7 quarterbacks, for all the struggles that San Francisco has had this year, they've been pretty good defense, right? 5 of the 7 quarterbacks that have faced the 49ers have had under 13 fantasy points. That includes fantasy quarterbacks such as Patrick Mahomes, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, all of whom are as good, if not better, than Dak Prescott, who, as you see, is just QB 16 on the season, barely ahead of Bo Nix, who defeated Lawrence Jackson just last week.
Yes.
He did indeed. By the way, the Niners have allowed just 1 or fewer touchdown passes in 5 straight games. And just contextually, you think about the Niners and Dak. Dak feels like he always struggles against the Niners. Last year it was the big game in the middle of the season, the playoffs the year before that. And I think you could make an argument, guys, that the Cowboys teams last year and the playoff team 2 years ago was a lot better offensively than what the Cowboys are rolling out right now.
Yeah.
I'm closing it out, and just to play along with the premise, I'm closing it out on Dak Prescott this
here
week.
At the bar?
My QB 19 here at the bar,
very nice.
where you have the choice
bar
to keep a bar tab open or close it out. I'm, in fact, closing it out.
Okay.
It's tough. The 49ers defense have intercepted the quarterback in 4 straight games. 2 straight games, they've gotten 2 picks on the quarterback. That includes Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes ran for 39 yards in a rushing touchdown. And like you said, Matthew, he still only had 13, 14 fantasy points. So is Dak going to give you that? I don't think so. I'm going to close it out as well. They just don't have enough all around on the offense in the run game. So, and again, that hasn't been good fantasy-wise this season, period. So to go on the road against this Niners team, you can't have much confidence in that. I'm going to close it out for this week.
Both closing it out here, and we stay in the same game, Lawrence, with Jordan Mason against the Cowboys. 3 straight games under 10 fantasy points for Jordan Mason. We know McCaffrey's looming, but Mason will get the start once again. Can you keep riding with this?
So they say. We'll see.
Yeah. You're really not letting this one go.
I just, why would you? I mean, I think it's probably more likely than not that Mason gets the start, but they don't have a strong track record of being honest about injuries this year. Let's just leave it at that. I'll be very kind.
Especially after this season. Look, Jordan Mason, actually, he's run good the past 3 games. His problem is, this is why he hasn't had 10 fantasy points. He hasn't scored in 3 games. But Dallas Cowboys, here we go. They've allowed the 3rd most rushing touchdowns to running back with 8 this season. So this is the game he should be able to get back in the end zone. Again, he's had his last 3 games, 89 rushing yards, 73, 58. You put a touchdown with those, he's still there as a top 10 running back. So against this Dallas defense, I'm going to leave it open.
Only one team in the NFL has allowed more rushing touchdowns this year than the Dallas Cowboys as well. No running back has more red zone rush attempts than Jordan Mason, right? He's actually 2nd in goal line rush attempts as well. So we like his chances to get into the end zone, for those of you who like to bet anytime touchdowns for Jordan Mason. And coming off the injury last week, would he be hurt? Would he be limited by the shoulder? He was not. There were 19 running back touches. Jordan Mason got 16 of them. He played 86% of the snaps. So in a must-win game, honestly, for both teams, it's actually a great game. A must-win game for both teams. I think Jordan Mason, especially given the fact that Brandon Ayuk is out, we don't know if we're going to get Debo back. Kittle's a little bit banged up as well. Feels like they lean on the run game, especially given the matchup and what other options they have on offense in this one.
As you see, RB15 for Matthew, that is a keep it open for both these guys here.
Yes.
Our next running back, it's all right. Tyrone Tracy Jr. against the Steelers, Matthew.
I like that you're in a Rangers jersey and you've just you're like, you know what?
Turn the page.
Jets, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with the Jets. Mets, the season's over. Yeah. Mets, the season over. I'm now on the Rangers bandwagon.
Yeah, they haven't lost in regulation yet.
There you go.
We just turned the page
here.
Fantastic.
It's amazing.
I had a Knicks jersey on yesterday. They got absolutely clobbered in the opener.
Yeah.
We just
you would be safe with a Liberty jersey.
I know.
You should rock a Liberty jersey. You should rock a Liberty jersey, and then you're safe until opening game next year.
But it would ruin my reputation. No one can call me a front runner with the teams I root for.
This is true. But there's also other names we can call you. I'm like, if you're just doing this to avoid name calling, we've got plenty of names.
That's fine. I just don't want to be called a front runner.
Fair
I'll
enough.
deal with anything else.
Fair enough. You're not like Jay Croucher. Jay Croucher is.
He latches on to wherever his futures bets are. Shamelessly.
My love of God.
Giants 80-1. That we haven't heard the Giants name on this show in weeks.
My wife, who pays attention to nothing, my wife literally the other day said to me, she goes, "How's Jay's Giants bet coming?" And I'm like,
in a serious manner.
In a serious manner.
Yes.
You should be like coming along.
Yeah. They're probably 120 to 1
Well, because my wife likes the Giants are her team, and and she knows that it just hasn't gone the way that anyone would have hoped in New York for them.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Giants, Tyrone Tracy.
There you go.
He's on our list here.
Yeah.
9 touches last week in his first game with Devin Singletary back, Matthew. The good news is the pass game work was there. The bad news is this offense stunk, and now he's not the only running back.
And that's the point. You and I both love Tyrone Tracy. Absolutely worth keeping on your roster. But I'm closing it out for this week on the road at Pittsburgh. Steelers are top 10 in the fewest fantasy points allowed to opposing running backs. Giants have the lowest implied team total this week as well. And so despite the fact that Tyrone Tracy, as you see it there on your screen, played 67% of the snaps compared with just 22% for Devin Singletary, I just don't know that this offense is good enough to support 2 running backs fantasy-wise, especially in a tough matchup against the Steelers. I would, because I believe in Tracy's talent, I think it's worth hanging on to in case he just completely takes the job over from Singletary or Singletary gets hurt again. But for this week, I'm closing it out, Lawrence, on Tyrone Tracy. Steal up. Curtain down.
Another issue, Lawrence. They don't have a left tackle right now, literally.
That's huge, Connor. Then you look at the fact that this over/under.
You see Belichick throwing shade the other day,
he's on a tear right now.
Let Saquon go, give him a tackle, guy didn't even there anymore. He just
beefing with Gerard Mayo.
Yeah,
clearly.
You know what? Hey, good for Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
He's fun.
Be old and angry. That's fine.
100%. He's earned it.
You're old, but you're not angry.
Not yet. Not yet.
We'll get there.
It's levels to this. It's steps to that.
Yeah,
you get to the point where you just start saying anything you want. You don't care no more.
My next contract with NBC, that's where I'll be.
I
gotta toe the line for one more deal, then it's just then I'm off the rails.
The retirement deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Go out on top.
The 0 F's to give deal. Yeah, exactly.
Quick for me, I'm gonna close it out on Tyrone Tracy too. Like you said, the Giants' offense isn't good enough for you to feel confident starting anyone outside of Malik Neighbors and maybe Wan'Dale Robinson. Then the fact that you're going up against the third best run defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. They held Breece Hall to under 40 rushing yards last week. So, just knowing that Tracy and Singletary are going to be splitting time, no, thank you. I'm closing it out.
A close for Tyrone Tracy. The next one, guys. Yes, Matthew?
I just want to say, I was reading some of the YouTube comments last night.
Dangerous place to be.
Dangerous place to be. Honestly, our YouTube audience is actually pretty great.
They're a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun. They go back and forth with each other. They give me crap, you crap,
That's
Lawrence,
great.
Jay, all of it. But there was one guy, and I wish I'd made a note of what the commenter's name was. But the person said, Barry, Barry with the paper shuffling and the pencil tapping and the cups, everything is the most annoying thing in the world. It just drives me absolutely crazy. So for you, this is for you, buddy. This is for you.
You know what?
This is for
Matthew,
you.
About a month ago when we was talking about the YouTube comments, I went in there about a month ago and they talk about your pen tapping. It is kind of wild right there. They actually talk about how I talk.
Right.
Y'all people don't like how I talk? Well, guess what? I'm going to still be here anyway. So.
That's a good point. I'll try to cut down on the pencil tapping and
I'm not going to cut down on how I talk.
But I like it. It's a
Nah, Matthew, you do.
I won't call it a crutch, but
yeah, it is
a little bit of a crutch.
That's the word I was looking for. It's a physical crutch. It is absolutely just it helps me sort of reset into whatever that we're talking about next.
You do you, dog.
Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You talk how you want.
Yeah, that's right. Atlanta GA, baby. This is how we sound.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotorworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.